Good evening. This is the Thursday, July 15th meeting of the Makefield Highlands Golf Committee for Lower Makefield Township. I'd like to welcome our team from Spirit Golf, and we'll start off with either Ed or Mike to review financials.
Thanks, Mark. I'll jump in and get us started. I know you're on your phone, but I did put the agenda up on the screen so everyone can see it. So we'll get rolling right into we did the benchmarks and we did a 1-1 through 630, which I also sent in financials to everybody for a mid-year kind of review, give you an idea kind of where we stand. But on comparison from 19 to 21 and budget, you can kind of see where things are. Total rounds of golf, 20,676. So we're tracking ahead of budget, ahead of 219. So we continue to see that surge of golf continuing. Green fees, cart fees, 656 versus a budget of 634. In 219 we're at 544. That's $544,000. And carts continue, they're tracking well at 265,000. Budget was 249, and 219 we're at 214. So 922 versus a budget of 833,000. And 219, 759,000. So things are continue to track well, this season as we kind of saw with 220 as things picked up in the golf season. Range fees are slightly off budget, 86,000 to 88,000. A good bit of that was in June as we were working on the range with Top Tracer and getting that set up. So we had a little bit of downtime, but still better than 219 at 78,000. So 8,000 better. Merch, guys are doing a great job on the merchant side. Lauren has done a really nice job keeping the shop organized and the merchandise displayed, and Ed and Dave and doing a great job with the fittings right now. Things are really going well with the club fittings. 84,000, almost 85,000 versus a budget of 69.9. So looking good there. And the restaurant, again, just some nice numbers. We're seeing some uptick. Now with the restaurant, we're seeing people sticking around a little bit more. A la carte is still a little bit behind 219. We're at 198,000 versus 202. We did soften the budget a little bit, not knowing with COVID, so we're beating budget by 10,000. But you can see the banquet side's really starting to go the right way. 120,000 with a budget of 87, and still beating 219 at 117. And just remind everyone, 219 was one of our better years in the F&B side, so tracking pretty well. So looking pretty good there. Administratively, we got some reorganization going on with Top Tracer being put into play, and with Dave's position moving out to the driving range and really being his responsibilities being out there and running the teaching programs. I've asked Ed if he would really focus his time and energy on Top Tracer. We've got a big commitment going on here. So Ed is going to kind of spend most of his time there. I'm spending a little more time at the club to help with the administrative side with Ellen. So we're kind of working it similar to I run some of the other ones where we have all the department heads managing their department, and we're helping on the admin side a little bit more. So it's at this point, we want to kind of see how much time Top Tracer takes and needs, but we want to make sure we're totally prepared for that. And so Ed and I had a nice conversation about this, and I think he's excited about the reorg, so he can really focus on the golf shop and letting Ellen and myself trying to just handle some of the F&B and some of the other things that are going on at the club day to day. So that's moving along. I'll let Ed tell you more about Top Tracer in a minute. Just a couple other administrative items. The AC unit, I didn't quite finish my sentence there. AC unit was placed in the clubhouse. So we had one of the main units go down. We had to get a few quotes, obviously, because it was a fairly expensive piece. We got 3 quotes, and we were able to get the unit completed. It was about about $16,000 for the replacement. So that got done. AC's back up and running. Ed and the AC guy at the time came up with some good ideas as far as moving the air around, and so that worked out nicely. So it wasn't perfect for a few weeks, but it worked out pretty well. Now we're kind of back in shape with that unit completed. The Smokehouse Grill, everybody should have seen the steering committee's report. I know Colin was kind enough to pull all that together this afternoon and share that with you. We've been focused. I don't know if John, are you out there, Goki? John was trying to call in as well. John, who with Spirit on the F&B side, has stepped in at this point with Amy being out of that position. John has stepped in to do some support for us there. So John and Travis are in managing the operation on the grill, and we were fortunate to find some equipment for about $1,000 that a restaurant was that was selling, that someone I knew, and they reached out to us, and it was just an awesome opportunity. It's about probably $20,000 of equipment that we got for $1,000. And John, being the handy person he is, he was able to kind of pull together this for about $2,500. Him and Cameron, our mechanic, just did a really nice job. I don't know who's been out there. I know Pat, you've been out there. Kind of saw what was going on out there, and smelling what's going on out there now with the smoke going on and smoking meats throughout the day, and the chickens and the pork shoulders and the brisket, which is really great. Customers are kind of pulling up to the parking lot, and they're pretty excited. They're like, "What is going on here?" So you can get a sense of that excitement there that we're seeing. We've had 2 nights going, 2 Friday nights with music with the Smokehouse Grill. We'll talk a little bit more about that once we get to the food and beverage side, but pretty nice situation going on there. On a not so nice side, we had a issue over the holiday weekend. 7th Hole Pond had some just oxygen level were low, with this heat and the low water levels, and dealing with some algae blooms. There was some fish that died in the pond. It's not anything that's out of the ordinary. There was no issue as far as beyond that, other than oxygen levels. We had DEP and Fish and Game out, and they checked in on it. We responded with that and been working on that. Fortunately, at the same time, we were repairing the pump on the well, and the aerators were getting clogged up because of the lack of water level. So Mark and Cameron were able to get those running. So now we're kind of back. The ponds, bubblers working, water levels are picking up a little bit in there. So we don't expect that to have any further issue out there. And then just, we're spending some time on SOPs, just doing some updates with the Smokehouse, with Top Tracer. So I'm kind of focused on that with the team, and just trying to get everybody going the same direction, so we can get some good training for this new opportunities that we have. So using the grill to also support the driving range with Top Tracer and people being up there. You'll notice some picnic tables have been put up there. We'll have some umbrellas in there in a couple of days, and we're kind of getting ready to just really dress it up and make it a real experience for folks to come out and enjoy themselves. So all pretty good there. Eddie, why don't you jump in? Why don't you talk a little bit about Top Tracer, some of the things we're doing, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mike. As Mike mentioned, excited to to kind of take on and help drive this new opportunity of business for us here at Makefield with the Top Tracer. Certainly with the install, we're finally, last week we kind of had a soft launch, and hopefully everybody got a chance to see the email Mike, myself, and Andy and the team put together to try to kind of walk the customer through just all the steps from downloading the app to what they're going to see when they're up there. There's a lot of the sights and the sounds of everything. So, as we go through this process, we're also putting together a video series, kind of a 3 or 4 part video series. Just, you may have seen 1 or 2 of the little YouTube links we've already done on the range myself. And again, just making sure the customer get a chance to experience all the added bonus, whether they're just there to practice, whether they're having some fun on the app, or they're actually getting a chance to play golf when the golf course is already taken up. So as you go through some of the bullets that Mike and I put together, we, like I mentioned, we've been up and running. We did a soft launch. Myself and the staff have been kind of trying to look at it from just a perspective of almost like a maitre d' concept, where once the customer starts booking their reservations, giving a chance to almost have an attendant up there, myself and others get a chance to kind of help the customer kind of, know where to go, what to see, and which monitor they're going to. So we're kind of working through that now. And I think that's what Mike was mentioning as far as just kind of our standards and what our SOPs will be. So I kind of have a vision there a little bit. And so we're kind of putting together that game plan now. So far, the feedback has been spectacular. It's been very positive. Myself, Joe, Dave, Lauren, Howie, some of the other younger staff that have been up there that are a little bit more tech savvy as well with us, just walking the customer through. It's really been kind of a fun experience too, to kind of just get a chance for us to engage the customers a little bit more, as we would say as a golf pro, kind of walking the line, walking down the range mats, and just, saying hello, grabbing the range basket, and just engaging customers. So we're going to continue to do that and make sure that, the customers know what options they have when they're using their mobile device, and what options they're going to be having when they're using the monitor. As you saw this first week, if you came up there, I know Dave, I saw you a little bit today, and Joe and Rich and others have used it. But we were promoting the mobile and the monitor for the last week at no charge. The download is free. To be able to use the technology on the mobile side will be at the customer's fingertips. And then starting tomorrow, Friday the 16th, we're putting our $3 increase in our range balls into play. And then I'm just finalizing the last bit of the scheduler, and the monitors will go into effect where customers can book and reserve by the hour, where they can reserve a time and play virtual golf, and get a chance to use the monitor component. Hence kind of dressing up, as Mike said, like where the picnic tables are, and adding, there's a little bit of food and beverage piece to it. So I think you're going to see a little bit more as we get our feet wet a little bit more with this. So really excited to see both pieces running, both the monitor piece and obviously the mobile piece. So the promotion with our range card, which is already in play, the range members are going to have access to the monitors, and we have a bundled discount hourly rate, which will begin this week. So if you saw the email that we first put out last week to the customers, it kind of laid out the difference between the mobile and the monitor, and then what the price structure was going to be for monitor, and obviously what the opportunities are going to be for range card holders or players that want to, up their range card, and what those dollars are going to look like. So we'll make sure the customer is fully aware of and understanding of that before they get there. That was the one thing we wanted to make sure the communication was real clear. As we mentioned here with radio ads, billboards, social media, we're going to continue to see and promote all those programs as scheduled. The online booking for monitors are going to be set up on our online booking window where it's tied into our point of sale. So right now, when you go to our website, you would go book tee times. We actually also have a second option to book tee times, which we call the early bird back 9. So when you go onto our booking engine, you hit a drop down arrow and it says Makefield Highlands, golf club. It would say back 9 early bird. So in this case, there would be a third option that says Top Tracer monitors. And so if you would select those Top Tracer monitor, that portal would open up and show you six monitors that you could book on an hourly basis. So that's the platform we're going to use. So it hopefully is going to be fairly easy for the customer and also easy for my counter staff to try to, make sure that A, we're checking players in, B, they're paying the appropriate amount, and C, that we don't try to add too many confusing pieces to it. So with it tied into 4UP, our point of sale system, we don't have to add another portal in addition to that, which we initially thought we might have to. So this is nice to be able to use it just off of one portal. And we do that now with the back 9 early bird. So it's pretty smooth. So we're glad to be able to do that. And I'm just kind of working through the last little updates here before we send out an email tomorrow morning. That's the plan, and let customers know how to book and start scheduling. So pretty excited for the monitor piece. Everybody that's been using it, myself included, with students and lessons, and customers get a chance to see the different features, and just being able to see it in action is really great. So so stay tuned with another bit of with our promotions, and obviously with the British Open this weekend, we have a few leaderboards already in play. We have a long drive leaderboard that customers have been teeing it up and letting it fly and seeing where they stand. We have the leaderboard scrolling on one of the monitors in the clubhouse, which is pretty neat, real time. I got a text from a customer today, said, Eddie, why don't you go check the leaderboard? I just jumped you. So it was kind of funny. It was pretty cool. People are interactive. We have a par 3 challenge where there's some different distances on the driving range, and has, kind of a point system. And again, that is all in the app for the mobile side. So you don't necessarily have to be on the monitor side to do that as well. So just creating a really good buzz. That's the best probably word we can use, is the chitter chatter. People coming in, phone calls, the non-golfer. That's the one nice thing too. Meaning the golfer that's not scheduled to play that day. They're coming or inquiring or learning about this other opportunity that we have. Certainly the golfers that are there to play that day are getting a chance to experience a really neat feature. But this also gives us an opportunity to sell some real-time virtual golf during hours where we're shut down on the golf course. More importantly, our league play Monday through Wednesday, which is a very important part of our business. Our tee sheet shuts down at 2:00 in the afternoon. So those afternoons, we're going to be able to potentially, hopefully, sell some hitting bay options where players can still go and play golf and have some fun. They'll do it virtually, but having played 9 holes myself up there, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's real. So I think I know we're excited to see how this grows, and that's why we're looking at it as a whole, to make sure that we have eyes and ears and really good direction on this new piece. I'm excited to take the lead with the team on this. So I don't know, Mike, if you wanted to jump in there.
Yeah. I just wanted to, just remind everybody on the promotion side, email will go out tomorrow. We would love to have been here a month ago, but, as things are, everything's taking much longer to get construction done, to get parts and pieces. So good news is we're here now. And the timing kind of works out perfect with the British Open. One of the things that Top Tracer is doing, as you know, with the PGA Tour, they're tracing the ball on the PGA Tour. You're seeing the tracing, that technology every day on the tour on TV. And Top Tracer is using that same idea now for global contests. So we can do local contests like we're doing on our leaderboard, but there's also a global option, and Top Tracer will be giving out prizes and different things for that as well. So it's going to be kind of a nice piece to add on to the email tomorrow as people are getting excited about the British Open. So it'll be kind of fun up on the monitors and hopefully drive some business there. So
Hey,
look
quick
for that.
question.
The radio piece goes. Good, Mark.
Yeah, just a quick question. I know I had been part of that, the group initially on the conversations, and we had talked about doing like a Top Tracer weekend with like, what's your guys' plans for like a launch weekend or a launch, 1 day or 2 days or?
Yeah, we thought two things, Mark. We thought with the British Open piece that Top Tracer is doing anyway, we'd launch that tomorrow, let people come up and get excited about that. We want to get the change made where we're selling the bays at this point and making the change on the range ball prices tomorrow. And then probably a week or two from now, then kind of doing a more of a full blown kind of top golf weekend. But we want to get it out there and get it going and get people in the bays and using it a little bit. And I think in the next 2 weeks, we can really get a good launch going.
Yeah.
And we'll do those contests, those precision contests and the long drive contests. We can be doing that on both monitor and on bays. So people can choose the option of where they want to do those shots. That would be kind of fun. Okay.
Yeah, so I think just kind of wrapping up with tomorrow will be we'll start moving. Like I said, we'll stay tuned for the information coming out. Probably a couple more videos, and then we've also talked about the radio opportunities and possibly the Philly golf promotion we did with Comcast. That Mike and I talked might be a good opportunity to kind of get them back to the golf course and really showcase that we're the only golf course to have this type of technology throughout the whole entire driving range. So again, we're going to use every platform we can to get a chance to really promote this great opportunity we have. So just moving through golf a little bit more, as Mike mentioned, just for the golf update, merchandise has been a nice conversation all year, which has been great. Certainly echoing Mike's thought with Lauren, and just really getting a chance to put some good focus on our shop like we've had in the past, but just really, being able to stay fresh and also the club fitting aspect. In years past when we've had more than one instructor fitting, it's made a big difference for the experience with the customer. And certainly this technology we have now at our fingertips on the monitors and accuracy has really helped the selling experience. And Dave is doing a spectacular job. And you'll see, numbers not just there, but on the lesson and the academy side. So hats off to Dave and the whole team up there.
Yeah, I don't think I jumped on that number, but earlier you could see the academy's 30-something thousand ahead of budget right now already. So very busy with the academy.
Yeah, very, very busy, and continuing to add new things, and trying to continue to add as many opportunities for new students as well. Our association continues. Lauren and I talked today. We have our July event coming up this Saturday. We're hoping that we have a few ladies in this one as well. So there's about 2 or 3 that have responded. So we're hoping to, I think we had about 8 or 10 out of the kind of the conversation with our survey and whatnot, that we're looking to stay in the competitive side. So hoping to have a little opportunity for the ladies to have experience this weekend. So I'm hoping that plays out. We'll find out tomorrow for sure. I think we have about 45 players. So maybe we get to 50. I know a lot of people are away this month, so numbers are down a little bit, but still a pretty nice size event. And with Top Tracer, we've had our Fairway IQ, which is the pace of play software. We got delayed a little bit, but we're finishing our install hopefully in the next 48 to 72 hours here on the antenna and on the carts to help us track pace of play a little bit better. So that's in progress as we speak. So hopefully we'll have that going here in the next week or so. As we touched on with the Academy, Joe and Lauren, Howie, Dave, I mean, just everybody, I'm jumping in where I can, where they need me. Fully subscribed, all of our camps. Again, having the Top Tracer and having some opportunities where we had a 5-day camp going, and on the week of the holiday, and Monday is usually a day where we get a chance to get on the golf course, but we had a full golf course with the holiday. So juniors got a chance to play virtual golf up under the canopies and do some go fish. So, again, gives the coaches a really nice tool at our fingertips. So the camps have been very, very fun. I was up there with them later today. And Joe, Lauren, and Howie have a nice group this week. So the Pee Wee golf's always well subscribed. And our intro to golf with the adult session, Dave and Howie have been doing some more on-course pieces with smaller groups, maybe 4 or 6 groups. Dave's had about 3 or 4 groups of neighborhood friends. There's Rich Eisner's wife had a few of her girlfriends from their neighborhood get together, start some intro to golf. Dave took them on the course, and then we tied back some food and beverage piece to it as well. So, so both kind of informal and formal sessions, but again, just really looking at all areas of instruction. So it's been, like Mike said with the numbers, it's been out of this world. So it's been great. So, and more importantly, we're getting more golfers. So it's been good. It's been really good.
Thanks, Ed. Before we jump into maintenance, are there any questions from the committee on the golf side?
Yes, I have a question. Looking at your range revenues versus budget and versus 2019. So trying to understand where the revenue piece to this Top Tracer is going to come from and how it's likely to play out for the last 6 months of the year.
Sure. So remember, there's 4 components actually to Top Tracer. The first is the mobile side, which is the range ball price increase. So that'll start immediately. So tomorrow, range ball prices go up $3. We're including the Top Tracer mobile app, and we're going to probably just get that bucket size a little larger so that there's a few more golf balls in there. So a little added value, but a price increase is what goes on with the mobile side. On the monitor side, that is all. There's 2 pieces. There's the membership. We'll be doing a separate email campaign and program to those that are range members currently to offer them a membership, basically an hourly membership to the bays. So they'll have access to the bays per hour at some discounted rate in the $20 range versus the 30, 35, 45 ranges, which we will sell by the hour in the base. So those 3 components, and then obviously you got some food and beverage going on up there. That's going to be an add-on, as we're going to be promoting the bay time, just like you would if you went to Top Golf. You would go there, be hitting balls at the range, and then having some dinner or having some appetizers and that kind of thing. So
all right, so help me out. So if I want a basket that was $6 is now $9.
Yeah, that's my question, Joe. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out, because if I don't want to use that technology, by the way, it tells me I don't hit the ball far enough, so I don't want to use that technology. But I mean, do I pay $9 for a $6 bucket now?
Well, no, the buckets are getting a little bigger, so you're getting a few more balls in
Oh,
there.
I can't hit
And
the many as I get already. So, okay. But okay. I just,
Yeah, if you go back to when we did the numbers on this, the range ball price increase was part of that, and the recent
it was $2. Now it's $3.
Ed spent some time looking at what everybody's charging in the marketplace, and yeah, we felt like there was definitely a $3 increase
Okay.
available there.
Okay.
Yeah, we were definitely, our $6 hasn't moved for a number of years. I think just being, if you look back at the numbers we crunched, I mean, eight for the medium seemed to be average, and that was a driving range that didn't have the technology that we had. So we felt like the added dollar would be a little bit of that. So and as Mike said, the numbers are going to move a little bit with how many balls.
We'll see. Okay. I'm not convinced. I've used it. I think it's kind of cool, but it's not exciting to me. I can't only hit the ball 150 yards with a driver, which, Jesus, on the golf course seems it goes a little further. So I'm a little confused. But look, I really do believe that that's your moneymaker. Every time I go there, I can get a slot. There's a million people getting balls. If you increase the price of balls and these people don't care about seeing how far it went or where they did, I don't know how that works out. I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, I think it's two things, Joe. I think, again, we're going to increase the number of balls they're getting, and I think the marketplace is telling us we're not charging enough anyway. So we felt like there's no problem, 9 versus 8 going down the road. If you go to any other driving range in the market, you're going to spend at least $8 a bucket of balls. So,
Okay.
that dollar is,
Right, we'll see. I mean, I think we need to monitor it closely and see what happens. Here's what I'm envisioning. I'm envisioning groups that don't give me more balls, but I don't hit that many balls because I'm very, I warm up quickly. And so do the guys I play with. So we're going to take one bucket and 4 guys are going to use it instead of 1 bucket and 2 guys are going to use it. And I don't know. Let's just see what happens.
You're
I'm
talking
concerned.
about a warm up. Yeah, you're talking about a
Yeah.
warm up bucket versus someone going up to the range to practice. I think they're really 2 different things, and it bears some question, which we're happy to talk about. Warm up buckets can be something we can discuss for the golfer. If we're talking about a warm up bucket and a quick bucket of balls before they go play, there's always that option we can lay in.
Is there space for that currently? I mean, once this gets installed, is Joe going to be able to go there and get a bucket on Saturday before he plays and not have to do whatever you're saying he has to do with some mobile app and everything else?
You don't have to do anything. You're not. It's not a first thing. It's something that's there if you want to use it. It's not a requirement to use the app. It's just there for those that want to practice and keep track of their activity. There are games on there. It makes your practice more fun, and if it's going to engage people that aren't always just going up there to practice. It's gonna create an activity, for people beyond the golf course. So, I think it's going to draw some different customers. Is there going to be room? I mean, I don't know the answer to that. I mean, we're a fairly busy range to begin with, and we expect we'll continue to be busy. It becomes one of those things.
Yeah, one of the nice features too is with the mobile side. That was one of the reasons why it really attracted us, was the fact that we have a grass tee, and on our weekends we can take the golfer to the tee in front, add some more stalls, and the golfer that wants to have their mobile device there, they have a stand, they can move it up, and they kind of log in. What we're typically see the first couple hours of the day until about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, there is probably those golfers that are there in the morning are just there to warm up. So, I think the the bulk of the day is like that 10 to 4, 10 to 5, where we really see a lot of golfers that are coming in that are not golfing. So maybe there's something that we talk through for the first couple hours in the morning, but Saturdays, Sundays, when we go to the turf, right now we have 21 stations, if you will. And when you're on your mat and you're using your mobile, and as we said, it's your choice, you don't have to, but when you're using your mobile device, you would tell the app which mat you're hitting from, and that's how it's locating you. So right now we have mat number 7 all the way up to 21 that are accessible for golfers that are not under a monitor. So
Yeah, Ed, I have a question. The mats now on the driving range are located on the grass. Are they going to stay there? The
yes,
mats?
Yeah, for the time being,
for the
Dave.
time being, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our objective originally was to try to extend the pavement there, and then put more of a mat system out over the pavement again. You know, we wanted that feel that there was some room up there. You know,
Yeah,
so moving them forward really, it makes it a nicer feel to walk around up there, and you know, as we add furniture and benches, and it'll be a much more comfortable situation than we were in, where you know you're on that hillside and you kind of walked up into the mats almost, you know. So we would like to have done that this year. I think next year we'll get the pavement in, or this fall towards the end of the season we'll get it in, and then have the mats on something that's a little.
I noticed today there were people, like some people are they should be hitting on the mats, but they're hitting on the grass. I was up there hitting. So
Yeah.
mats are in bad shape and they're sort of crooked. They're not level. So
A couple of them, as we put you put a base stone in there, so they're a little, so we'll tighten them back up. You got to kind of get rain on them a couple times and repack them. So they should be fairly level. It's kind of it's the same material that you would put one of those big T lines on. We're just doing it in a smaller area. So once it's packed down, I think they'll level out pretty nicely. Okay. And Joe, we're not opposed to the conversation. I think it's easy to put a third size bucket in there if warming up for the golfer is something we want to talk about. But the price point on the size buckets we're giving, I think, is fair, and I think we got to kind of figure out, you know, if there is a need for a warm-up bucket, or you know, something for the golfers pre-game, just to kind of, like you said,
Mike, I think you just need to look at what everybody else is doing, and you know,
that's what we did.
That's what we did.
Then show that comparison in some kind of document that, you know, so when people are yelling at me, I can say, "Hey, look, if you went over this place, it'd be this, you went this." But you know, I mean, I get a lot of feedback. You know, I play golf with 12 cheap people every weekend, and I appreciate that, by the way.
No worries. We have it, and again, Eddie, I think you have it on your computer. You can probably share that with them.
The meeting that we had that got canceled in June or whatnot, we sent the information out, which should be in the agenda.
Yeah, I think we did share it with the committee.
Okay.
I just don't think
I'm sorry, I missed it, but
because the meeting was canceled.
We'll
So
resend
we'll resend everything for June, but it was in that packet, I believe.
yeah, that'd be great. I mean, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sorry, so-
Like,
sorry if I was
to
confused.
get the committee excited, maybe you should invite the committee to review Top Tracer, or maybe give us a little tutorial so the committee understands that, you know, we're going to be one of the few golf courses, probably, I don't know, you can tell me. This is going to be a great marketing advantage for Highlands, because I don't even know where the closest golf course that has the same technology. And number two is we could use the Top Tracer logo with the Highlands logo, which really golfers know what Top Tracer is, and I think it's a real advantage for us.
Agreed.
No, there's no question.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of positives, and we would love to do that. And however that works best for the committee,
if you want to come up as a group, or if you want to talk amongst yourselves and figure out a couple of dates that work for you, and we could set up a game and get on the monitors and have a lot of fun with it. And I think engaging all of you is very important to us, that, you got to be the salesman for this too, and see the value in it. And it's, as Mark said, he spent a little time on it with us, and with Top Tracer, with their marketing team. And, I think you'll see when you spend a little time on it, it's a lot of fun. So, and to me, that's what we need. We just need opportunities to create more fun out there and generate more revenue. So I think it does both for us.
Mm-hmm.
No, come on, yeah.
Good.
All right,
Mark,
next one.
Mark Peterson, you out there?
Yeah, I'm here.
There you go. You want to jump in on, you got the agenda in front of you?
Yeah,
No, you're on
my
your
glasses
phone.
on. Hold on.
That's why I put it on the screen, so we could see it.
All right. Yeah, we had a vicious lightning storm before we got that 100-degree heat. And unbeknownst to me, it blew out a lot of the electric solenoids that turn the heads on. So there's some T's that got a little fried, and you can't really see it until it happens. And then, it's a little too late, but we've been working on that. We bought a bunch of solenoids, bunch of heads. We're reworking some of the irrigation system. The system's getting old. The heads are wearing out, and, like everything at Makefield, now we're at almost 20 years, and some of the infrastructure is, weakening. That being said, we spent the extra money to go ahead and spend the money to fix everything, and we're still working on it.
You got about 5 or 6 left, you said, Mark?
Yeah, there's about 5 or 6. I don't know. He's still working on it. I mean, it's
yeah. And just so everybody knows, the process is you're digging up. You have to actually physically dig the head out and replace the solenoid underneath the head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's not a quick, easy fix.
I invested a lot of time with that, getting that ready. So it's been better. Also, bunker sand. We already put out 150 tons of sand. I got another 75 tons coming to finish it up. Either sand's supposed to be here tomorrow or Monday. So we're still working on that. Another, piece of the puzzle. Just, it's in our schedule. It just doesn't happen all at once. We got new triplexes. The greens are tighter, getting cut tighter. So they're rolling truer, I'm hoping. To me, they're rolling truer. I don't know about your opinion. So we're doing good on that. And spraying, it's been a bad year for clover. I'm doing that on a constant basis. And some of the natives are going to need to be cut and sprayed again. Just the weeds here with those natives are just brutal. I've tried a bunch of different chemicals, and they just don't react to what I'm spraying on them. Climate warming, is it that? I don't know. Is it resistance to when you spray chemicals all the time, the plants get a resistance to what you're spraying on them. So I'm constantly working on trying different things and trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Pond bubblers were repaired on 7 and 9. And the issue with the fish dying is once they sprayed for the algae in the pond, it sucks the oxygen out of the pond. So that's why we had a fish kill of, I didn't see more than maybe 20 fish, 30 fish at most. So
Yeah.
Talking to the guy that sprays the pond, he goes, that is unusual for them to come out for a fish kill of 20 or 30 fish. They usually come out for a fish kill of, 1,000 fish or 2,000 fish.
Yeah.
So
They were called. They were called, so they have to come out, I guess, and check it out. So.
No, I know. Well,
So it
there's
is what it
been
is.
fish. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I think it is what it is. We dealt best we can, and I think the important thing is, the algae's down, the bubblers are repaired, and your water levels hopefully can stay up with the new well. So it's one of those things. Committee, could you give us a little feedback on the bunkers, greens a little bit? I know those of you out there playing a little bit.
Well, I noticed a couple weeks ago that there were a lot of bunkers that didn't have any sand in them at all. They were just like hard pan with little rocks. So I knew some of the bunkers needed sand. So I'm glad there's more sand getting put in the bunkers.
Yeah, absolutely. There's two pieces to the puzzle. We know all the bunkers need to be replaced, and the project that we're doing with the capillary concrete is it's very easy to look down 10 and see which ones are done and which ones aren't, right? It's that visual. The sand's clean, stays clean. It doesn't get silted up from these heavy rains. They create a lot of silt when the faces break down. So it also creates a ton more maintenance for Mark.
Yeah.
So getting that sand in there is important. But again, we would love to get them all done, but we're doing what we can with the funds available, and just trying to in the interim get that bunker sand in every bunker, so they're going to still silt up the ones that don't have capillary in them, but we can't leave them how they're going. They got to have some more sand in them. So Mark's been working hard to get that done, him and his crew. So thanks, Dave.
The life expectancy of a bunker is 7 years if you look on the GCSAA website.
Yeah.
Irrigation systems, their lifespan is 20 years. If you look that up on the web, you'd be surprised at how far we've tried to stretch things.
Yeah.
So until we get funds available to just get them all done, there's going to be an issue with some of the bunkers.
Well, I some of the bunkers that you've taken and turned into grass bunkers, I think are perfect. I mean, the one on 16 on the right side, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's playable, yet it's still a hazard. Maybe we need to do more of that. There's a lot of bunkers on the golf course that, in the fairways, they're pretty severe. I mean, I watched the British Open this morning. That's all I did all morning, by the way, just so you know. But I watched the British Open, and I would be in that bunker for a week. All right. So I really think that, but I think that there's some bunkers out there that instead of trying to convert them, maybe there's enough that we can just make some more grass bunkers. I mean, I'm impressed with the grass bunkers. They work and they don't cost anything to maintain, or not a lot of money like bunker does to maintain. I don't know your thoughts.
Well, that'll save me a lot. That'll save me a lot of money by just having to mow them rather than fix the washouts. I mean, it takes me 2 to 3 days.
I think we're trying to balance it, right? And Joe, before you were on the committee, we did bring out Rick Jacobson, the architect, a couple times. When we were engaging this whole bunker renovation project, and talked about some of the changes that would help us. and at the same time not change his design from what it was. So, it's a little bit of that. I think, respecting the design but yeah, there's some severe bunkers in the fairways. And, that's something I think, we should all, consider. We've done a few. Are there more that can be done that wouldn't really affect the design? I think is probably the.
Yeah, I think 8's a perfect example. We have those 2 on the right that are severe, but don't come into play that often. And if they do hit a wayward shot, you're penalized a little bit. And if you look at number 3, there's 2 bunkers short left off the tee, about 60 yards that, don't come into play that much. So to your point, Joe, and what we're talking about, we can look at it and see what makes best sense where it doesn't take effect away from the design. Because I don't think the ones we've done have. I think they've.
I don't know. I think the ones you've done are great.
Yeah.
Those bunkers are great to play out of, as long as they put enough sand in them. But we seem to correct that. The fifth, in the 5th hole, the 8th hole. But I mean, those are
Maybe
fixed.
it'd be nice to do another walking tour. Maybe when it's a little cooler out.
That's a good idea.
But it would be nice to do another. We've done a few over the years. Just kind of walk through the holes and kind of spend a little time with the committee, and that would be nice to do again. And bunkers would be certainly something we could address out there.
Look, you guys are the experts. You understand exactly what's going to happen if you change this, change that. So, I mean, I think if you presented a plan of what you think should be done, I think the committee then should, look at that and make a decision. You're the experts.
Right.
Okay.
No, you got it.
The guys that play golf with think they're the experts, but they're not.
Great. Okay, you want to move on to food and beverage? I don't think John was able to
John
get
is
on.
here.
So.
Yeah, John's here.
I'm here, Mike.
Oh, he's up there? Good. I
Yeah.
didn't see him, sorry.
Hey, John.
I got my
Hey,
screen
everybody.
minimized because I got the agenda up. John, say hello to the committee, and if you want to talk a little bit about what we're doing with the smokehouse and the new menus. Colin, thank you for sending all that to the committee. I think they got a pretty good impression from your email, I hope, of some of those things that John's been putting into play with Mark and the team over there. So, John, go ahead.
I'm sure everybody's noticed that we've been trying to really make some improvements to the operation of the 10 area and the and trying to create a little bit more activity in season between Memorial Day and Labor Day on the social side on the 10 area, the club. I've been doing some work on the bar and on the we did buy a used smoker and a wood pellet grill and built some menus around that with Mark. And so far, so good. We've ran a few test runs and produced some fairly high quality food. I think the menus are more thoughtful and a little more well presented than what we've been serving. And Mark is doing a very nice job with the raw bar items also there. But again, it's work in progress right now. Colin and I have been talking about it. He could probably speak to all the information that we've hashed out between us. And the ultimate goal is to really grow the top line number in food and beverage. When we began the 10 operation with catering in mind about 7 years ago, the goal was to grow the top line to somewhere in the $1 million neighborhood, and we never got there. And now we're kind of revisiting that, trying to focus more on all of you, on the day-to-day, that the community and anybody who wants to come for an evening or an outdoor dining experience, which other than a couple other locations in Newtown and in Yardley, there really aren't any. And we have a liquor license, which and a beautiful area, a beautiful grounds to operate on. So this kind of came naturally. And Mike can also speak to the budgeting and the game plan behind what we're doing. But why don't you guys take it from there?
Sure, I'll speak on it.
Colin.
Yeah, I mean, the idea when I first got on the committee, as John said, was to grow the food and beverage. I mean, we had a clubhouse and it wasn't really doing that much. So we tried a few things. Some things worked, some things haven't. And I think this is something that's really going to work for us. I think the thought of people smelling smoked food while they're on the golf course, when they come in, they're going to want to eat that food. And also we wanted to open it up to more of the non-golfer and the community. And I think this is another opportunity. And Mike and Ed have been doing an amazing job in coming up with different concepts. And this is one I think is going to work for us. Is the Friday night thing, we'll start it with the Smokehouse Grill. I think it, like was just stated, it's an opportunity for people in the community to come and have a different place to go and have a different experience. What we have there and the view and everything, we don't have anything else like that in the town. So for someone to come out, have a couple of drinks outside on a beautiful terrace, some smoked food, and it's something that will be profitable for the club and for the township and bring money in and bring non-golfers in. I also think after talking about the whole Top Tracer thing, that's another experience we're going to tap. We're going to bring in people that, you know, might not want to play golf or can't even get on the course because it's sold out on a day, but they will come in, maybe hit a bucket of balls, use the Top Tracer, especially a younger crowd who are into that type of thing, into using an app, into seeing that, into getting the highest scores. The video game crowd now is coming into being adults and older. They love that type of thing. They'll stay, they'll eat, they'll smell smoked food, they'll take food home. We'll increase that bottom line on food and beverage. And I think smoked food, I mean, they're putting in a whole smokehouse at Vault Brewing is something that's trending high and people are into. And I think it's something that will work for us.
Thanks.
I think it's great.
Thanks.
Just, I don't know. I'm not a foodie guy, but it smells great. It tastes great. I think it's wonderful.
You might not be a food guy, but you'll eat a brisket sandwich, right?
I'll eat anything. Don't worry. Put it in front of me. And John, nice to have you back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Good to be back. Other than the work we've been doing on the grounds and around the clubhouse, just with signage and marketing, and you will start to notice some of these directional signs and just tightening up the facility, getting it back in line for those that aren't familiar with it. I always say that we all know it so well because we're there so much that it becomes too ingrained. We overlook the fact that somebody who's never played the Highlands doesn't know where all the amenities are. They don't know where the restrooms are when they're making the turn, or they don't know where to go to the bar to get a Gatorade or a hot dog, and we put some of those signs that were in place back, and just little things, just tweaking the restrooms and the oh geez, there's a laundry list to the honey-do items that I get from Mike and Ed, and I try and help Mark as best I can with the ongoing projects with the Top Tracer and whatever else needs to happen on the grounds on the property management side. So we've been keeping very busy, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer anybody's questions.
Does anybody have any questions on the menus that we sent out earlier today?
No, I kind of like those menus. They look pretty good. I mean,
Good.
Yeah, I think the final wood side will come out tomorrow. We did add a couple of some vegetarian options,
Yeah, good idea.
portobellos, and a couple things. So I think they'll be a nice add-on too.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, the food is wonderful. I mean, anybody goes there and complains about the food, got a real problem.
Yeah, you know, Colin, Yardley on a Friday night, Saturday night, between the Vault and the Continental, that city is really picking up steam. And so many people I talk to, I mean, I'm on an app called Nextdoor. I don't know if anybody knows Nextdoor. When you get a chance, and people are always asking on Nextdoor where a good place to eat is. And I'm constantly pushing, the Highlands for a great lunch place or a place for dinner. And there's so many people that I still run into that have no concept of our restaurant at the golf course.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful place, great view when it's not 98 degrees out. It's just a great place. But I think that we've got to really have a hard look at our marketing for that place.
Mhm.
And I know we do some marketing. I don't see it. I know I've complained to Mike and Ed. They're tired of hearing from me. But I think that we really need, if we really want to get that number up that you guys keep talking about, we got to get the word out. And it's got to be social media. It's got to be print. It's got to be, the Channel 20 or the.
Mark, yeah, I mean, we certainly hear all you're saying, and social media we're on. We're buying Facebook ads. We're doing it weekly. I'll send over the analytics for the Facebook for you, so you can see that. And it's ongoing. And the email blast. I mean, 2 Fridays ago we had probably nearly 150 people on the Friday night come for music. So
I'll be honest with
there.
you. I think up until recently we didn't have a lot to market. I mean, we had
not until the last.
And what
Yeah,
we
but
did
you
before
did.
that, we were
that's
very choppy. We were doing this, then we were doing that, we were doing this. We didn't
Colin, that's a
really
little
have-
disingenuous. You've had a restaurant there for years.
We didn't have a
it's-
solid product before that we could compete with
Where's Sal?
someone like Vault, somebody like and other restaurants like that. I believe we do now. I believe we have an experience that is something people will drive down the driveway for.
I think you're right.
It's something solid. And I agree with you, Mark, that we do need to market it more. And I think
somebody needs to monitor apps.
market that than what we had in the past. And if you look at the numbers from 2019 before COVID, the numbers were rising at that point. We were getting things in place and the numbers were going up. We had the party on the patio scene going. We had other things. Those numbers were going up. And I think with the product we have now and the experience we can give to the non-golfer and to the people in town, I think we're just going to see it get bigger. Yes, it does need to be marketed more, but I think word of mouth, it getting out, and Facebook to me is the best way of advertising it. I'm not really a fan of Zuckerberg, but that's a whole other story. But that's
That is a different story, right?
But it is a great way of marketing it. But I think
it's
word of mouth,
effective. Yeah.
once
Okay.
people have the experience and share it, it's going to get bigger.
Colin, you could go in on the Nextdoor app and just say, like an average person, just say, hey, I just had a great meal at Makefield's at Makefield Highlands Golf Club. Should check it out. And people will comment on it like, oh, I ate there, it's great, or I ate there, it's not good. But it's like, it's great local marketing where people, I've noticed that when a new restaurant opens up, there's tons of people that comment on it. And people nowadays, now they're coming out of, they've been coming out of COVID. They're dying to go into restaurants. They're looking for outdoor eating.
Yeah.
I mean, if Yardley, I mean, sitting under a tent in a parking lot draws people to the Continental.
I know.
So imagine if we had this beautiful deck overlooking a beautiful golf course, serving good food. That's got to be a bigger marketing than sitting in a parking lot.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I think
Well, I agree, Mark.
another thing that we need to put more time into too. I mean, you've got the Nextdoor, but I think Yelp is an even bigger app that more people are going with. And once we start to get positive feedback on that, it will feed itself.
And especially with the, I don't know where any good barbecue is in this area. I mean, I have to go to Nashville to find a decent barbecue.
Come to my house. I'll give you a good meal.
I'm on the way now. I'm leaving.
Oh, jeez. Here it comes.
Yeah, no, hey, Mark, we totally appreciate that, and I think
He's right.
Again, I think we found our our groove here with the smokehouse. I really do believe this is kind of, and this is something we talked about years ago about putting an outdoor grill station out there. It's been in the budget for years, but it was a $20,000 number. We never could get it over the finish line, and we just got lucky with being able to pick up this equipment for $1,000. So, John has done an amazing job of outfitting the space right now, and I know his back hurts because he's out there digging and doing all kind of stuff, and the place is set now. I think we've set the stage, or we set the table, as they say, for the right type of fit for this club, and we're excited about it, and we're going to back it with the market.
Listen, even Colin suggested the committee come down and taste some of the barbecue just to make sure
I would love that.
it's suitable for the public.
Yeah.
I would love to have you guys. I think that'd be a great idea.
Yep.
Then we can go play Top Tracer.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
Well,
Jesus.
Or
I'll have.
I've
Rich-
tasted the smoke. It tastes delicious.
It's
I'll
And
have-
Top Tracer tells me I can't hit the ball far enough, so I'm not going to do that again.
Come on.
Well, we'll go on to the next topic, but I'll have Rich reach out to the committee, and maybe we can set up a time to give everybody a little tutorial on Top Tracer and
I think
a
it's a good
review
idea.
and a review
Yeah.
of the new.
I think it's important.
we now have 6 beers on tap out at the outdoor bars.
All right, John. Now you're in charge. I
Come
like
on
that.
over.
We've got
Those
the,
Six beers and tar out
The
there.
beers-
Out
the
there,
beers will
Cap.
need to be the beers will need to be reviewed also.
Yeah.
we had 2 before,
We have
but now
we have a
6.
cider on also.
Yeah.
I don't drink, but I would love to see that.
Yep.
And don't forget our exclusive Vault Brewing.
We have the
Yeah,
vault,
we have
our,
that's been going
house crew. Yeah.
spectacular. Yeah, it's been really doing well.
Yeah, put me down for a 5. I'd be happy. I'm making 7s, 8s.
I
All right,
think
Ed.
Allison
All right,
is
let's get back on topic.
Thank you, guys.
Alan.
Listen, really good discussion. Go ahead, Helen, sorry.
No, I said Mark Ellison is chair of the meeting. I'm just reminding folks. Let's move along.
Let's move
Oh.
along.
Thank
yeah.
you. But yeah, I do believe that was.
Yeah, we're
that was a
getting
good discussion.
yeah, you're right. Thank you.
We've gotten rid of Rich Eisner.
I don't think so.
I think we can make the rest. We've hit on a lot of this anyway, but we are doing the email blast. One will go out tomorrow on Top Tracer and talk about the Smokehouse Grill again. I'll send you guys the numbers and the analytics on the social media campaigns we've been running, the Facebook campaigns. They've been very positive. We've been working banquets and events, and I could tell you, if you're looking at the banquet event number, it's starting to jump, and the activity level of the walk-ins and the calls and the emails is way up. So we're booking a lot of events. One of the nice things that I think we've kind of, we're massaging this, and as John said, using that space outdoors for everyday use between 4th of July and Labor Day here is working out well, and we're booking a lot of smaller events inside when it's hot out. And our weekends, we have an event every weekend from now to December. So it is picking up. It will continue, and I think that Facebook social media promotion worked. And now we're going to flip that to the Smokehouse Grill and Top Tracer. So all our focus on social media will go that direction now that those 2 pieces are in place. So we're looking forward to that. We're working on a radio commercial tomorrow that will launch. We did some both trade and some purchase of radio ads. And we'll be looking at picking up the billboard and kind of tagging that Top Tracer and using their logo and the Smokehouse Grill kind of combined. I love the combination of those 2. So I think that'll attract a new customer for us beyond just the everyday golfer. So those are the things we're kind of focused on. Sorry, I didn't get the link up on this email. I'll send you the link to the new website, which is looking really good. Andy's been working hard on that website, and Eddie's been reviewing it with me and John, and
So we're just about ready to launch the new website, and that'll include now the Top Tracer information, that page specifically. So it'll be pretty exciting. So we're working all that. Capital side, I can go quick here because you know about it already. We took care of the HVAC. You know, we know there's some things that got to get done with paint. You know, the bunker project, we all know what that is. And I think, Mark, what we'll do is maybe just remind everybody of what the plan is for the fall and send out the plan for what we're going to do. And we'll add in maybe that conversation we just had about some suggestions of other bunkers that may become grass bunkers. And then, you know, we got a few other things. The T-line, Dave, you mentioned the T-line. We'd like to do the full T-line. It just didn't play out as far as what we could do this year on the budget side. Furniture on the range, we've already done some picnic tables. We'll be adding some more furniture up there. Mark's going to do some cobblestone curbing and things that we could do in-house inexpensively, but make a nice impact for the golfer. You know, just visually on some of the tees and greens, some of those, you know, with the shale base that we have here, you get a lot of breakdown where the carts are running over the edges. So we're going to try to clean that up and try to do some work there. Driving range field is a pretty big one. You know, it's got to get on our list. You know, we spend more time picking balls out of the dirt than we do running them over with the picker these days, because it is sandy soil out there, and it just needs a lot more topsoil. And, you know, but that's kind of a project for late fall where you'd have to do some seeding and soil at the same time, but something that's going to be important, I think, to that field, so that, you know, we're looking at good targets, and you know, when they're using the Top Tracer or just using the range, they got good targets to visualize. So those are some of the projects that, you know, we've got in our head, and you know, we'll keep plugging along with you know, with those and what we can do in house and with the budget that we have, and hopefully as we go forward, there'll be some more opportunities. So hopefully Top Tracer and the Smokehouse will create some of those. So we're excited about them.
Sounds great.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, before we open it up to any public comment we may have, anybody on the committee have anything?
No.
No. Do we have any?
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
So, couple of real quick questions. As far as the Top Tracer, did I understand correctly that you could plug in a golf course and monitor and hit it like you're actually playing at, say, Augusta or something like that? Does that have?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Ed. Does that have that technology?
Yeah, so there's two parts, right? So the monitor part, which is under the hitting bays. Right now, when you're up on the range, we've had one hitting bay up there that we've used for instruction. We've added 2 more bays. So there'll be 6 areas where there's 6 monitors, 2 under each bay. And that's the rentable space. So you would rent it for an hour, and there's virtual golf. So the monitors, John was helpful to put the monitors in, and we have the electrical and everything, the data wire all there. So once you log in, set up your profile, you can select virtual golf. And there's a database, probably about maybe 20, 25 courses: Kiowa, Pebble, Torrey Pines, St. Andrews. So yeah, and you're basically, once you select, you play front 9, back 9. If you've ever played virtual golf or done any of that in the wintertime, you know, you can play 18 holes, you know, fairly quickly because you're not really putting, obviously. But yeah, you would pick your target out in the field, so to speak, and that would be your straight line or 12 o'clock. And then you're hitting from the mat or the hitting stall, and it traces right on that monitor, and you're playing golf. So that's the monitor piece. You don't have virtual golf on the mobile side. That's the difference. The mobile has a lot of features, but the monitor has more features.
That's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's really great.
So my second comment is My wife has become a fairly regular customer on Friday nights over at the golf course. And she absolutely loves it. And, you know, as to what everybody was saying, you know, it's such a beautiful view. And you know, we've really, Colin and the crew have really, you know, done a lot to move the food and beverage portion along. You know, the music was great. I was over there last week. We've taken some friends over there. However, I did talk to Rich about this. And to Mark's point about the advertising, more specifically, I was monitoring the channel, the Makefield or Lower Makefield's channel, and just watched it go through a few times so I didn't miss it. There was 3 advertisements for the pool. There was yoga, goat yoga. There was all kinds of advertisements. Never anything about this golf course. There should be an advertisement running every 20 minutes about the golf course. The biggest asset we have in this township, and I've never seen an advertisement for the golf course on there. So I guess our liaison supervisor is not on the meeting tonight, but somebody's got to, you know, try and convince the township to put that on there.
We lost you.
And just to go on the record, I didn't say anything to him.
No, and to go on the record, we have been putting out we did send some advertisements over. I know we just sent them over the Top Tracer and that stuff. I'll follow up personally on it and let me see what's going on as far as those getting up. I don't see the channel, so I apologize, but I'll check in with them tomorrow. And
I mean, I'm not viewing it, you know, every single day, but last week I turned it on.
We hear you. We did run some earlier. We had several, Ed, right? We had going. And
we had 3. We sent the committee some photos of that back in May. We were working with Monica, her team there, making sure the formatting was right. Actually, before the meeting tonight, we just wanted to make sure that if, you know, we hadn't spoken last month, we were like, you know, has this been going out? Where are we with this? And can we make some tweaks with a couple of the new slides? So we hadn't heard back from her and her team. So as Mike alluded to, we'll follow up and make sure.
I'll follow up tomorrow.
You know, we did, you
Check
know,
in Top Tracer and Smokehouse. They have those
we did have 3 slides because I know Mark had mentioned and a few other committee members have mentioned it, you know, months previously about it. So, yeah, I think consistent.
But a great job.
Well, we keep losing him.
Yeah.
Pat, we lose you.
Thanks. We can't hear you, Pat, but thanks for your comments.
Anybody
We
else
lost
on the
you a little
committee?
bit.
Any other comments from the committee? Do we have any public comments?
No public comment.
No public comment. Do we have a date for August meeting? Was that, I had the 16th. That can't be right. Is that right? Does anybody know?
Let's see.
I don't want to guess. So why don't we have Rich just confirm?
Yeah, Rich will email and then that'll get out.
The 16th is the 3rd Monday.
If we don't have any other additional comments, we can say thank you guys for the last 2 months. The numbers look great. And I know all your employees are dying out there in the heat. So to Mark and his team and all the people out on the course, the committee thanks everybody for the hard work.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're doing a
Thank
great
you.
job.
Mark.
All right. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you in a month.
Good night.
Good night.
Take care.
Thanks.